Hello everyone, this is David the Real Medvite, and this is a response video to Zachary Robert's video on Thomistic responses to Eastern Orthodox objections. And I would like to first start off by saying that I think Zach did a great job in his video. He explained the Thomistic position well, and the aim of this video is going to be clarifying some misconceptions and talking about some of the responses that Zach gave. And so the first part I would like to begin with is Saint Gregory Palamas. The first thing I would like to correct is that there's no such thing as Palamism in Orthodoxy. What you will call Palamism is already the Orthodox dogma, so the tag is completely unnecessary. The second thing I would like to correct is Zach said that the modal collapse argument was not made by Saint Gregory Palamas. So the so-called modal collapse argument was actually made by Saint Gregory Palamas. He says that if if the energies of God are identical to the divine essence, then the energies of God are both unoriginate and eternal as well, right? And the final correction will be, this is not more of a correction, but Zach said that that the modal collapse argument can be used to debunk all monotheism, and I will say I do agree that it will debunk all monotheism that believed in absolute divine simplicity. We don't have this problem because we say that the essence of God are distinct from the energies of God. So God does not have to be eternally creating because God said energies are distinct, right? And so we don't have the issue that he talks about in his video. And so technically he's actually making a pro-Orthodox argument in his video unwillingly. The second chapter is going to be on Origen. Now you might say, what's Origen got to do with anything about this video? Well, Origen has a lot to do with this video. The modal collapse argument is not an argument that we make. Okay, that's crucial to understand. It's the Origenist problem that we say. And Zach also said that this is a contemporary argument. The Origenist problem is not a contemporary argument. It's been existing since 1800 years at least. And so to understand what the Origenist problem really is, Origen reasoned that God is absolutely divinely simple, just like the Thomists do. And just like the Thomists do, he says the energies are identical to the divine essence. But then Origen reasoned, well, if the energies are identical to the divine essence, then the energies are eternal and there's no real distinctions in energy. Now, what's really even wrong with this? What's wrong with this is that creating is an energy, right? The act of creating is an energy. And because energy is eternal, creating, the act of creating, and also the creation itself have to be both eternal under this problem. And as I've said, this is a problem that arose in the church period. Saint Maximus the Confessor dealt with it. Saint Gregory Palamas dealt with this problem. And so the final chapter is going to be on Thomas Aquinas, and this will deal with the divine exemplars. The issue with divine exemplars is that it has a lot of holes in it. So the exemplars are the essence of God, right? And because they're the essence, there's no distinction between the divine exemplars, really metaphysically speaking. And they also don't add anything ontologically. So what is beautiful is dependent on the exemplar, so not the thing in itself. The other problem with divine exemplars is that we need to know about it via two methods, right? It's not through natural theology because we know it's through created effects. It's through either divine revelation or by divine perspective. Now, there's no divine revelation regarding divine exemplars being true in the Thomistic scheme. It doesn't exist in the scriptures. And so how else will we even know about it? Well, we will know it by divine perspective, which is beatific vision. But the beatific vision is not reserved in this life. The beatific vision is reserved for the next life. And so we can't really know about these ideas actually. We only really know about its created effects. And part two of Thomas is going to be about the distinctions, right? And this is going to be the most important part, I think, in the whole video. And so when Zach tried to respond uh, about the synonymity of predicates, he admitted, he said that that the distinctions between the actions of God are logical, okay? They exist in the mind. but they're not metaphysically distinct from each other, because if they're metaphysically distinct, then they're also composite, right? So even though we logically understand some of God's acts as distinct from each other, according to ADS, that will still metaphysically mean that creating the world is the same thing as walking on water. So really, you still had the same problem in Roman Catholicism, where in your understanding, all actions of God are equal with each other, and they're only distinct in our minds, right? And so to conclude, all of these arguments, all of these responses from Zachary stems from what real distinction means. That's really the whole debate is based on what real distinction means. And there's two views on this. There's a Hellenic view and there's a Christian view. And in the Hellenic view, the real distinctions will entail division, right? Whereas in the Christian view, there can be real distinctions, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that there's going to be a division. And why do I even call this the Christian view? Well, it is the Christian view because if you look at the Holy Trinity, the persons in the Holy Trinity are all really distinct from each other. The Father is distinct from the Son is distinct from the Holy Spirit, right? And so you can, and at the same time, the Holy Trinity is not composite, it's not divided. And so you actually do believe that there can be a distinction without composition, without any form of division. And so you can accept this for the Holy Trinity. And so my question will be, why stop there, right? Why stop at the Holy Trinity? You can go on about on essence energies distinction. You can say, well, the energies of God can be distinct from the essence, right? And this is Orthodox theology. And once you accept the essence energies distinction, what happens is that you don't have to deal with the so-called modal collapse argument, which is really the Origenist problem. You don't have to deal with it anymore because the act of creating the world does not have to be eternal, because the energies of God can manifest itself in time and space, and they might have a beginning and an end, as Saint Gregory Palamas says. Nor do you have to deal with the divine exemplars, which is really an inferior version of the Logos Logi doctrine from Saint Dionysius. And you don't have to deal with the problem of God's actions all being the same in ADS if you adopt the essence energies distinction. So once you adopt the essence energies distinction, then you will get correct theology, you will get Orthodox theology. And this will pretty much conclude the video. I hope all of you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned something at the very least. And I hope that the Holy Trinity blesses all of you. Thanks for watching.